So let's talk about some Cyberverse product. More specifically and confusingly, as Hasbro likes to call their Transformers Season 3 and Season 4 Cyberverse product, Transformers Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures. Man, that's going to be so confusing in the future for listing stuff. We always call it Cyberverse. We're going to call it that. So once again, we're going to be talking about Season 4 Cyberverse product that we're learning about for the first time, unfortunately. Not by means of Hasbro doing some big press release or a Fan First Friday. Not by Hasbro sending some images to IGN News or comicbookgeek.com or whatever. Literally just being found on the shelves at Walmart. And us having no clue about this stuff outside of obviously leaked listings that we had stuff to kind of piece together from. So this is actually a little bit of good news in a sense because it's a character upgrade, if you will. Cyberverse is kind of notorious for having certain characters, if they did have a toy, being not very good representations of the characters on screen. And today we're going to be talking about the Decepticon Conehead himself, Ramjet. Now, Ramjet did have a Cyberverse toy, but it was in those dreadful Scout classes. Now, unlike Scout classes that we're normally used to in Transformers, some of them being incredible during the Revenge of the Fallen era, some of them evolving into what we know as the core class today with Kingdom and beyond. But the Scout class for Cyberverse was this weird purgatory that Transformers ended up in. It had a robot mode, but it didn't really have an alt mode. It kind of had I'm stuck in between robot and alt mode, and we're going to tack a gimmick to it. And oddly enough, though, out of all of those weird ones, and man, some of them are really bad, Ramjet at least was the only one that kind of, and I'm using air quotes here, kind of had an alt mode that represented what his show counterpart did. Granted, if anything, it's by accident that it kind of looks like his jet mode. But the point is that Ramjet just had that one Scout figure, despite the fact that Ramjet was pretty predominant within the Cyberverse show. A problem that even, unfortunately, a main character like the show Windblade suffers from, which I still to this day don't understand. So at least the good news out of all of this is that we're now going to be getting a Ramjet figure, and it's going to be released in the Ultra Class Energon armor price point. Now, I've been a fan of the Ultra Class Energon armors specifically because they at least make an effort to make half-decent articulated figures that have proper transformations. Up until the Deluxe Class Hot Rod, probably the Ultra Class was the best version of him. And even then, I'd still say it's debatable that the Deluxe Class is better. Kind of, pick your poison on that one. But it has the Energon armor gimmick, which can be seen as a negative, but it also could be seen as a positive depending on how much it interferes with the articulation and the final design. But in the case of a Seeker, it doesn't look like it's going to be the case because the transformation is pretty simple for Seeker jets. That's been perfected since 1984. And it's all just about packing in that Energon armor gimmick, giving him some 2 little blasters, which he could put, or null rays, which he could put on his arms. And you get something that's a pretty good representation of the animation model. It transforms, and it has a little extra Energon armor gimmick, which I'll tell you something. It looks like he gets like this Energon armor that gives him like a falcon head, and he kind of looks like Blue Falcon from Harvey Birdman or something, or the Hanna-Barbera cartoons. It's just kind of a funny aesthetical choice of design. It's cool. I dig it. Almost kind of Air Razor looking, maybe, if you look at it from a different angle. But I dig that at least we're getting a decent Cyberverse Ramjet figure. And it's the same thing. These Ultra Energon armors was the only way that we got Clobber as a figure, which was our gender swap Lugnut in a lot of ways. So I like what I see here. And call me crazy, and you don't have to do this, but if you're one of those individuals that missed out on that blink and you'll miss it, Amazon Ramjet and Dirge 2-pack of Earthrise. This almost, and I know people might not agree with me, but this almost could be a stand-in for you in the meantime, because it's in that same kind of Voyager scale. Now, granted, it's not going to match with your thrust that you were able to get in retail and everything, but I mean, it's one thing to consider. And chances are, if they're going to do this guy, they'll probably do the others. Hopefully, they'll do some repaints of the others. Do different colored translucent Energon armor, but still have like a different colored body and everything. I mean, it's, Seeker Jets print money. So if you're going to make a Seeker Jet in this ultra class Energon armor, you might as well repaint it into all the different price points. So again, this is cool. I dig it. Again, upgrading one of those previously existing characters in the show that just didn't get justice done to them in their original releases. I mean, I'm also reminded of Shadow Striker. I mean, man, she just did not get a good toy, unfortunately. And again, predominant character in the show, didn't really get a good toy. At least I'm happy Clobber got something. That's the one thing, because Clobber was also one of those that's a far-fetched one if that one will happen. But and now we're getting Cheetor too, and a lot of the others. So hopefully before Cyberverse caps off and goes into the sunset, and then we move on to whatever will be the next Transformer brand for the television series and the more, I guess, mid-tier kind of line, hopefully we'll get some better renditions of some characters. I mean, we're still, unfortunately, and I say this backhandedly, but unfortunately we're still learning about stuff for the first time when it hits retail, which is crazy. Considering how we're so on top of the game when it comes to Kingdom and Masterpiece and everything. Months out, almost years out in advance, we learn about stuff. But yet, this stuff we only find out when we go to Target or Walmart or in the back stock room of a Toys R Us. It is what it is, unfortunately, like I always say, and how Hasbro has handled this brand. And hopefully those last two TV movies that'll appear on Netflix to cap off the series won't make us too depressed. So let me know what you think about this. Still pretty cool that this is happening. I want to see more. I want to see the back of the packaging, see if there's any cross-sells on other stuff that we potentially didn't know about. I mean, we have that, Energon Armor Volcanicus that's coming. We got the Hot Rod one, and those are both in the ultimate price point. A lot of gimmick-based stuff, unfortunately, but that, again, that's the age demo that this whole line is pretty much aimed at, and the regional demo, too. That's a whole other story. But let me know what you think. It's pretty cool stuff otherwise, and hopefully we'll get some more information on this Transformers Cyberverse Season 4 stuff. TV series is coming soon. These toys are hitting shelves now, so, this TV movie will be coming soon anyhow. And hopefully we'll get some more stuff. And again, reminder, we're 2 days away from Fan First Friday with some big reveals from Hasbro, so stay tuned for that too.